We might not.
We are. We're live. It's working. So now we got to quit arguing.
No, we don't. They know us.
No. So let's see. We got Chris. It was the week before Christmas, and all through the house, no one was stirring except for Cage the mouse. He loves his bed. Good evening, Phil. Press now. Hello, Johnny. Hi, Randy. Chris, howdy, y'all.
I already got a commercial.
Guthrie.
Oh, Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Only small stars here. I don't know. We're not stars, but we're small.
Only small stars here now.
And there's Mark's here and Robert Austin
from Oklahoma.
Robert Austin, yeah. There were a lot of people from Oklahoma tonight.
Hey, Jason.
Trey's here.
Hey, Trey. Hey, Wendy.
Hey, Trey. Wendy.
My phone finally logged on.
I did. Should start earlier like I do. I have to start 20 minutes early. You are the large stars. We are the tiny. No, you guys.
Aren't stars just a bunch of gas?
Yeah. We just sit here and pretend like we're doing something, huh?
That's still why he's wearing his hat.
Darla cut my hair. And instead of using a bowl, this time she used like a Christmas cookie thing. Cut it. So I'm wearing a hat for a while.
That's not going to help because it's like making it lay down still.
Yeah.
Which is what it was doing before.
It doesn't have a good shape.
I feel like a gas giant mostly after being very ho-ho. Jason.
Yeah, so if you saw our new video out today, type 1. I want to see if you guys saw it. We didn't really get too many views. I was surprised.
I was so surprised.
Yeah. It was very informative.
1 if you did, 2 if you didn't, and 3 if you will.
Well, it looks like a bunch of people on here saw it.
Yay.
Yeah.
John, you always got to be difficult. We asked for you to put 1.
Yeah, because we can't read. We watched it. Wow.
Hey, Randy. Hey, Mary.
Loyal people here. Yeah, and then Ron Silva, you guys know him. He's on here all the time. He wrote me and said that, boy, these sweats really collect the hair, you know. Plucking all these hairs off me. Anyway, he said that he just bought one of those things, and he says he's had nothing but problems with it. So.
And his was 2nd or 3rd generation.
It's a 3rd generation. He says brand new one. He just bought it not too long ago, and he says it's not. I mean, we suffered with
Ronald,
it. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's on there. We suffered with that stupid thing for what, 3 years or something.
Longer than that.
And I mean, I was constantly trying to find a place to pull over and reset it. I get out on the freeway and, the car's going by and resetting it. And I finally just got to the point where I just shut the thing because it would be beeping on the dash,
Hi, Makio. Thanks for the like.
Makio's here. Cool, Robert. I like that you marked your unit before sending it. So you knew they swapped when it returned.
We learned that from our radio days.
Yeah. When we had our electronics company, we used to do refurbishing. And the radios got the screw on the back would get a little dab of paint. And the color of the paint, depending on who did the repairs on it. And then
we used to buy seconds.
Yeah, we bought defective and then we refurbished them. We put refurbished stickers on them. And then inside it had a date stamp. So we kept track of all the radios.
Because a lot of times people would bring back radios they didn't buy from us.
And then they learned that they could put orange paint on the back or something.
They'd give it to our guy, and then our guy would bring it back and say, this was defective. Customer bought it for me, and, whatever. And then we'd have to fix it free.
Or we'd send it back to the technician and we expect him to fix it for free and we get charged for it because he hadn't fixed it. Someone had just put paint on it.
Yep.
So if it didn't have the tag on the inside, then the customer had to pay.
Ronald says I'm about to throw it out the window.
Well, you know what? I called. I tell you, I don't mind getting a little more personal with it on here. I didn't want to cause too much of a stir throughout the entire RV world, but I called. We were working at Brett's RV, just like I said. I wasn't the parts manager, but I was working in parts, and they didn't know. Anyway, I called them up and I got a hold of this Roxanne.
But you were selling the items in the
store. They wanted me to sell them.
Yeah, but I mean,
if somebody wanted them, I kind of had to.
Behind it, we're not going to sell it. I mean, it's there on the shelf. You see it, you want it, you can buy it, but we're not going to say you should really buy this. We think it's great. No.
That lady was so disrespectful to me, so nasty. And that's when I told her, I said, well, you know what? I go, I'm the parts manager here at this RV dealership. And, if you want me to, I'll just start sending stuff back and collecting checks from you guys. We just won't sell your stuff anymore. And, oh, no, we don't want that. But she got me for the $110 for like a $15 or $20 battery. But the thing about it was when I got it back, Ron said or someone just said they thought that was pretty clever to do that. But I always mark stuff like that when I send it back. And I checked it and the mark was gone and it didn't look the same. It was a brand new one. And it worked pretty good for a while.
Yeah.
It would still kick off.
It really didn't.
It would kick off once in a while. And I figured out different ways of resetting it and stuff. But when it finally decided it didn't want to work,
it went out to the truck with you to see how you hooked it up.
Yeah.
So we were not making a mistake. Anyway, Mikio, thank you. I'm glad you're always there, even though you forget to say hi sometimes.
And Diana Pennington.
Hey, too. Diana.
Hi. How you guys doing?
And Phil Presnell, do you really need the brake unit with the unit you're driving? Yeah, it's.
Well, no, you don't. The thing about this motorhome is it doesn't really realize that there's a truck on the back.
But
when you hit the brakes, it doesn't really matter.
Insurance-wise, if they require it, if you're so yes, you do.
Anything over 3,500 pounds, you're required to have.
Because if you get in an accident,
they won't.
It's your fault.
It's your fault if you don't have one. So, the advantage to this brake buddy that I have now is when you plug it in and you turn it on, it pumps up. It's a little mini air compressor in there, and it charges a tank, and it works with air pressure, and it seems to work a lot better than this other one. I mean, that's what I wanted to buy in the beginning, but we went to an RV show, and you know how RV shows are. You get supposedly the greatest deals at the RV show.
Show sale.
And I bought everything. I bought the tow bar, which is a piece of crap, and the base plate was the only thing that was really any good. But I've had to replace the little deals that go in. You hook the tow bar to. So now, I got rid of the thing is they kept every year I had to have that tow bar rebuilt. And it was like at first they did it for free a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I take that thing in there, you could just grab it and shake it. And it sounded like a box of bolts rattling. Everything was all over. And you could see that truck was all over the road back there. It was just moving around.
Not only is it scary, but it wears out your tires too.
Yeah. And the thing is I put that little clamp deal on there.
Yeah.
We did a video on that kept your receiver from moving, and it locked it in, and that helped a little bit, but that freaking tow bar just wore out so bad.
So quick.
And then they told me that they weren't going to fix it. They were charging me $125 each time to fix this tow bar. And so what I ended up doing,
they finally said we're not fixing it anymore.
Yeah, so I bought. They had one that was good for a tow bar that was good for 5,000 pounds, and that's about what our truck weighs. But it's like a tow bar you put on a Jeep where you lower it down onto a ball, but it does have the deals where it slides in and out. And I put that on there, and so far it's worked great. Huh? Yeah. His eyes are open and he's snoring, and his tongue was hanging out.
Oh man.
This dog is see his bed? He loves that bed, man. I mean, he loves it. Look at his, the only time he goes to bed now is if I'm in there or Darla's in there. But he'll stay in that thing all night if you let him. Let's see, am I doing this right? There we go. So anyway, forgot about the 3,500 pound limit. Yeah, that's and like I say, the bad part about it is that if you do get in I mean, you can drive without it, but you get in a wreck, it's your fault. Hello from Wiley, Texas. How you doing? It's Lynn and
hey, Lynn and Joan. I'm sure you're in earshot.
So anyway, we're gonna try this. I haven't tried it. I haven't towed with it yet, but we will be. We're leaving here Thursday. So
Silly puppy is right.
yeah, we got everything. We cleaned up the whole outside around the house,
Yeah.
which really good. I mean, there's more to do, but
we're gonna get the dirt.
Oh, we didn't bring your Christmas present in.
Oh. I did have fun though.
Yeah.
With my Christmas present.
Tell them what your Christmas present is.
You know those? Maybe you don't know, but
there was a lot of thought went into this present for her.
Yeah, it's a good idea if you're going to do new construction like this. Well, any construction really, because these guys they pound nails and they shoot staples and things go flying. And anyway, there was lots of screws and staples and bolts and rusty nails and all kinds of things out there. And we drive there, so you know.
I don't know what that one thing was. That wasn't a rusty nail.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It was a big old metal bolt.
But anyway, it's a bar. It's got a magnet on it with wheels on it, and then a big long broomstick handle. And I just wheeled that around outside over and over and over, and I got, I don't know, a couple pounds full of metal.
Big old bag full of it.
It was fun though. And when you're rolling it, you can either roll it forwards or drag it behind you, and you hear click, 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 click. And all these things just stuck to it. It was fun. And every time it rains, you know, more stuff will wash up. So I just wish I had one for glass.
Well, it's just like a bar.
Yeah.
It's like a square bar, and it's magnetic, and then it's got
wheel.
You gotta put 2 bolts and 4 washers on, and that's it. That's all you do to put it together and screw the handle on.
Yeah.
And then you just cruise along, and she just was out there, looked like she was vacuuming the yard.
$25, you know.
Yeah, it was $20.
Very thoughtful gift. Thank you. Merry Christmas to me.
I could have bought her a lifetime supply of M&Ms, and she wouldn't have been as happy though.
No.
So yeah. So anyway, that was that.
Yep, magnet roller.
And we got all the wood is pretty much in the shed now that we're gonna keep and use.
Yeah.
So when we get back, we're gonna do some work on the shed and get it all the way it needs to be, and then
put shelving and stuff, pegboard and whatnot.
Yeah.
Lynn says you'll probably pass us on the road on the way to Quartzsite.
I don't know. We're gonna go slow. I think we're gonna just drive easy. I would like to get to Abilene, hopefully the first night. But you know what? A good idea. I'm going to give you guys all a really good tip. If you're traveling and you know what highway you're going to be going down and you want to stay at Walmarts and stuff, you ought to look into it and give them a call, because
I use RV Parky. I don't know if anybody that's traveling out there does use that, but that's been really good for us in finding, you know, Cracker Barrels, Walmart. They got a bunch of different places that you can boondock for free, and it's got the phone numbers, and sometimes it's got pictures and reviews. And then I always call them and say, hey, are you guys still, is it okay if we park? And they usually tell you, yeah, it's okay, but park in whatever corner, you know.
The Flying J's, they're really good, but the problem with Flying J's is when you get to West Texas, um, they don't, because so many people are out there working
Yeah.
and they're living in vans or whatever. They tend to try to make it more difficult to park. Of course,
Exactly.
we always that one that we stayed at a couple of times there, but I always have to do this really funky maneuver. And then that last year we were there, they came out and told us we had to move.
Even though we got approval the night before. Anyway. Yeah, RV parking's great.
Yeah.
So wave. She said, so when we drive by them, just wave. Yeah, the PFJ truck stops in West Texas are not Pilot Flying J.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they're usually see, our thing is we don't like to stop in New Mexico. Well, we'll stop there in Lordsburg. That's where we'll.
Yeah.
If we stop in New Mexico, we stop in Lordsburg. But we're not going to stop in Las Cruces and those other places because it just in Tucson definitely not.
Proven good for us.
Yeah, we've had problems in Las Cruces. There's all kinds of. Stayed in that Walmart, and man, we had people coming out of the bushes all night long and approaching her, walking the dog in the parking lot.
9 o'clock at night.
And so we've just decided.
That's what's wrong with New Mexico.
we've had to leave.
Personal experiences.
And then Tucson, we did that one video where those guys were breaking into cars. Of course, we got screamed at by people by the comment section saying, "Well, why didn't you call the cops?" Well, shoot, man, they had cameras and blue lights and security, and they weren't doing anything.
Cracker Barrel for us seems to be too small. Seems like all their parking lots are too small for us.
Yeah, we can't. I
don't know how they're not too small for you guys, Lynn and John. I mean, we stayed at one Cracker Barrel, I think, at one time.
And now I hear Cracker Barrel's kind of cracking down on trying to get you not to stay there. Yeah. Because people pull in with rigs like ours and they don't leave till 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning.
We stayed at a Lowe's one time.
Oh, we stayed in Lowe's a couple times. We used to stay in that one, where was that? That was on our way to Amazon. There's my brother coming home. Yeah. My brother he's in his big truck. Anyway, we stayed in Lowe's. This one place, we stayed there a couple times, and they were really cool about it. We parked on the side of the store. And then also we stayed in Home Depot in Yuma. I was surprised we got to do that.
Lynn says it's because she's a professional driver. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Lordsburg isn't bad, but Wilcox is better? We stayed at Wilcox, too.
Yeah, we stayed at AutoZone in Wilcox.
Yes.
We had, what did we have break that time?
I don't know, I forget.
We had something go wrong with the motorhome.
And had the part.
Well, Napa had the part, and they wanted like $90 for the part. And then I said, you know what, that's ridiculous. That's too much. And I think it was one of those continuous use solenoids or something. Probably. Anyway, I said, well, she called the AutoZone, and because that was the next place was Wilcox. We were coming home, and they had it. And I said, is there anywhere like a Walmart or anything? And she goes, well, why? I said, well, we just need a place to park. Oh, just park in our parking lot on the side. You could fix it right there and everything. And we did.
It's so cold there too.
Yeah, it was cold. Yeah. But and there's
that's true.
Dougie D.
Nice campground that was.
He stayed at KFC in Buffalo, New York.
Hey, Dougie.
We stayed in a KFC one time in Tucson.
Texas Canyon is better yet. We don't go to Texas Canyon.
Where's that? Is that on the 10? Because we leave here, we do 30, 20, 10, and take the 10 all the way in.
Yeah.
Oh, Benson, yeah. Okay, we've been at that Walmart. But they, for some reason, they wouldn't let us stay there.
Yeah.
There were signs. Because we were going to stay
It's
there.
funny too, because like in our travels back and forth, not that we travel that much anymore, but what was good last year isn't good this year. So a lot of the Walmarts are changing that, and that's usually where we stay is Walmart.
Do we have aliens?
Hi, Scott.
Yeah.
Got aliens. We don't have any drones, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, we do. We have one that you don't
I'm
use.
talking about flying above head.
We should have got that out
I
and
want
flew
to
around.
do that before we leave. I want to.
Well, then you need
But
to
I have
charge
to
it
use
up.
your phone
My phone for what?
because I have to use it to operate the
Oh.
drone, and this dies too quick. Anywho,
There's Ron Darrow. He's
Hey,
Hody you all.
y'all. We like the
No,
casino.
Hoedy.
I know, Hody y'all.
He's like me. He hits the wrong.
We like the casino on Texas New Mexico line. Which one is that?
Texas, New Mexico.
I know we stayed at, was it Twin Arrows? Is that what they called that one?
Well, that's in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's not in Texas. That must be up by. Is that on 40?
Close count. El Paso. Okay.
El Paso. Oh, okay. We tend to try to get through El Paso.
Yeah.
It's a busy place.
You guys are taking a long, slow boat too to get there.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get. I think we can get there in 3.5 days. Pretty easy.
We usually do in 3 days, and it's a push.
Yeah, well, I'm figuring what I'd like to do is full day first day, full day second day, and then ease up a little bit on the third day.
So close, she's like, let's just get there.
But what we got to do is we got to get propane.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get there like during hours when we can get propane. So
yeah, instead of having to pull in and go the next morning.
Yeah.
Casino has RV sites for $15. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Flying J's have them for free. Huh?
Not full hookup.
No, and Love's has
that one that
I think it's $10.
That casino, remember?
Yeah, Twin Arrows.
North Dakota that we stayed.
Oh yeah, that used to be $10 a day.
Where you left that?
Yeah, my heated water hose.
I'm going to try Harvest Toaster going out this year. Okay, those are nice.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
Have you ever stayed at Flying J, Ron? Those usually have a Denny's, and you're not parking near the trucks.
Yeah, they have spots.
The trucks have their own parking, and the RVers have their own place.
I know a lot of people are already in Quartzsite too.
Truck stops in Anthony were better and free. Yeah, well, I've never paid to park in a truck stop.
Jay was my favorite.
Yeah, when we first started traveling, we stayed at Flying J's, and the thing is they had like independent restaurants.
Yeah.
And you could go in and get some really good home cooked food. Yeah. And then they decided that they were going to put Denny's in them all. So, but I mean, you can always get a good meal at Denny's, right?
What happened to them?
I don't know.
Before we started on this full-time thing, Bill would read, because back in that day it was blogs, right? There really weren't vloggers on YouTube and whatever. And they would type, their little entries every day or every week or whatever. And there was this person that he followed. I can't even remember the name. Fork in the Road.
Something. It was an old lady and an old man.
Anyway, and she'd always end it with, And we stopped at Denny's. You know, you always get a good meal at
And
Denny's.
you always get a good meal at Denny's, of course. You know what? It's like around here. I don't know what it is. Hopefully, no one from around here is listening. Well, Jason is, but he agrees.
He agrees.
I mean, they will eat anything, and
Yeah.
I mean, oh man, the food just is. The restaurants are not that great around here. They really aren't. So, unless you want to drive to Chicken Express, pretty soon we'll have one in the Queen.
Well, we might. Yeah, we should have driven by and seen.
Yeah, we want to go get ribs. The Pruitt Market over here smokes ribs, and they're really, really good. And they were sold out. Sucked.
Jason says, "Me."
Yeah, Ron, it's free to stay at Flying J's, and they have like they're like 60-foot long.
The RV
parking
spots
spots.
we stayed at though have been free, John. So we've never had to pay. Beware of harvest hosts. They're nice, but they expect you to buy something. That is true. That is true. The 3 years I pulled RVs, I stayed in Jay's 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Move over my hammy. Yeah, you got that right, Septink. I've eaten roadkill. We hit a goose and ate it, or hit a deer and ate that. Oh, funny.
Well, you know, one thing about Denny's, they have pretty good hamburgers. You know, you can get a pretty good hamburger. And you know what?
Salad.
Surprisingly, if you like chicken fried steaks, they have one of the better chicken fried steaks.
Yeah. You always try to get those chicken fried steaks.
I did a thing where every restaurant we went to for like 2.5 years, they had chicken fried steaks. I would get a chicken fried steak. And I was kind of like keeping track of who had the best. Now, the best chicken fried steaks that you can eat in a restaurant is Chris and Pitt's. They had the best.
Yeah. Nobody even knows Chris and Pitt's.
Yeah, but that's in California. But and they're a barbecue place, but they make a great chicken fried steak. And I love Texas Roadhouse, but I don't like their chicken fried steaks. I don't think they're that good. And what?
Jason said he went to Shelby's today for Christmas dinner lunch.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We Desert Schooner.
Hey, Desert Schooner.
Is last week, and notice Lazy Days look almost empty. They need your money now. You know what? It always looks empty when we get there, huh? They're busy for the month of January. Is about the only time.
We did use Passport America.
Yeah.
When we very first took off.
But what's the problem with Passport America?
They're always
when it's like in season.
Yeah, they have like black.
They don't discount you.
You know, they block out sections.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
They want you to stay 3 days, or they got all these rules. Yeah. And I mean, if you're gonna, I don't know. I think
it didn't work out for us. We had it for a couple of years.
We were escapees for a long time, and we did that because we had a bunch of friends that were escapees, but they're pretty much all out of it now. So, that was a pretty cool thing. But
I don't know anyone that's ever.
We were the youngsters there back in those days.
Welcome. Yeah. We were the babies then. Not now. Boondockers Welcome. I don't know anyone that's used them personally.
We have been to C and P in Anaheim. Chris and Pitt's? Yeah, they're the only ones that are left. Is my best friend growing up. His family owned those. They had at one time they had 15 restaurants.
Downey and Bellflower, yeah. No.
Downey and Bellflower, yeah. Downey is still going. Of course, the last time we went to Downey, it was closed because they were doing something remodeling or something, and so we had to go to Bellflower. And Downey's the best one, right there off the 5 freeway. The Anaheim one was I think they had 2 that served alcohol, and that was one of them. They had a bar. Chris and Pitt's, all the Chris and Pitt's sell beer, but that one, had a regular mixed drinks and everything.
Let's see, let's get caught up here. We actually have a couple decent restaurants here in Guthrie. Might be worth a trip. We were hosts and now we are guests. Okay. For Boondockers Welcome.
Oh, yeah. I thought it would be good for travel days.
Yeah. Boondockers Welcome has a map when you are a member. Okay.
I used to have places when we were doing
Amazon.
when we did Sugar Beets and we did Amazon and stuff, and we just had places where we would pull in and empty parking lots and stuff like that, and just kind of pull in and curl up. So I always like to curl up so I can look back and see if anyone's around the truck. And we would just do that, and we never really got bugged. We were pretty lucky. The only time that we've ever had a knock on the door was near NORAD. We were in Colorado Springs, outside of Colorado Springs, and there was this big, huge warehouse, and it was empty and been empty for quite a while. Hi, Maggie. Hi,
Maddie.
Maddie.
Merry Christmas.
Anyway, we pulled in there and parked. I leveled up. We had a nice dinner. We were watching RV, Robin Williams movie.
Yeah.
And I hear uh-oh, look whose ears are up.
It's okay.
And it was a cop. And man, he was all puffed up and he was gonna shoot us and everything. I go,
oh, he wasn't.
He did
have an attitude.
He was all spicy. Did you see the cable across the driveway with the sign? I said, I didn't. He goes, oh, well, maybe it was laying down or so. I said, there was no sign.
There was one sign. We came in this way, and the sign was right here, but the words on it were faced. You'd have to come from the opposite direction to see it.
Anyway, he says, well, you can't stay here. I said, okay, we'll move. He goes, oh, really? Okay. I said, yeah. I said, no, I don't want to cause you any grief. I go, the thing is, we have a campsite reserved for tomorrow for like a week, but we can't go there tonight. So, and we just got here early, and this looked like an abandoned. I mean, there were more moles and stuff under the pavement. We kept seeing all these little squirrels and stuff sticking their heads up.
And in
the parking lot.
To the cops, I mean, I know there was surveillance on that building probably still, but us, we like abandoned things, so we got out of the RV and we went up and we're looking at it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was an adventure.
And we kind of just walked around a little bit and took Mackie. That was Mackie at that time. Took him for a walk. I was looking at that today. So his little bed is over there in the house, so maybe he'll stay there while we're gone. Huh. Yeah. Anyway, I just told him, I said, well, can we have a few minutes? I go, we gotta, we were kind of set up, got the leveler. He goes, well, yeah. So we got everything closed up and everything leveled, unhooked and everything. And when we drove out, he was sitting right there. And we ended up going.
Yeah, in a cul-de-sac by a camping world.
Well, there was the camping world, so we could park in the cul-de-sac. And we went over there, and I said, nah. So we went around the cul-de-sac and came out and went up and parked out.
Right.
And there was trucks and everything going on all night in that place. It was crazy. Got very little sleep. But
Lynn and Jones stay at Corps of Engineers. So I've never stayed there.
Where?
The Corps of Engineers.
Yeah.
They're going to stay at 2 more before they get to what site?
Yeah. Bill was looking for the little green man that they hide in those warehouses.
So Harvest Host linked up with Harvest Host linked up with Welcome Boondockers. Boondockers Welcome. I didn't know that. Whims of Mim. Hi, Whims. I was looking for the little green men that they hide in those warehouses. It was weird. I don't know. It reminded me of a movie set where aliens.
And it was a big building. Yeah, that was a big place.
There was still office furniture in there. Kind of. I don't know. It just kind of had a creepy feel to it.
But Colorado Springs is not friendly to RVers at all.
No.
You cannot park on the street.
No.
You can't. I mean, you can't park anywhere except for in a campground in Colorado Springs. And that's why we weren't in Colorado Springs. We were, before we got to Colorado Springs is where we were at. And we thought we were safe there, but apparently not. And then we asked him if we could just park on the road. And he said, no, you can't park on the road around. So, because we've done that before too. Huh. Just pulled over and parked on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And
Bill's Way. That's right.
What?
Bill's Way.
Bill's Way.
We parked on the side of the road. Woke up and there was a sign there that said Bill's Way.
Oh yeah, that was the first trip. No, it was Bill's Place. Yeah.
No, it was Bill's Way. I got a picture of it.
We were across the street from the
gym.
The gym.
Yeah.
That was our first place we went to when we left home. Is our dog does this breathing exercise every night. Anyway, we left California, and of course the pickup truck still had California plates. So going through Utah, the nice little 17-year-old Mormon girls were going by giving us the finger and stuff. Everybody hated us. But we had to go to South Dakota because the motorhome was registered out of South Dakota, but the truck wasn't. So we had to go up there and get our licenses and everything. And then something was wrong with my Social Security card or something.
No, we lost it.
Was that what it was? They wouldn't let me get my driver's license. And I said, well, my license is going to expire. So anyway, she did something. She was really cool about it.
Really quick.
I had to go back. That was the worst part. But anyway, we were driving and we were headed to Coffeyville, Kansas. And I finally see this really cool place. We pull in, and it's like a big truck parking. And we went. There was a light, and we pulled all the way down to the end and pulled over and parked. And we were sitting there. We get all ready for bed, and we get in bed, and I get in bed, and she goes, "Someone just pulled up and parked next to us." I go, "What do you mean?" We're clear over to the right. There's a car, and I looked outside, and I mean that car was straight down out of my window, right there. And I'm thinking, what the heck?
We couldn't have gotten out of the door.
Well, they couldn't get out of their door either. True. They couldn't open. And I see a towel. They put a towel up in the window. I go, well, I think they're just kind of hiding from everybody over here. I don't think they'll do anything. So we lay down. I'm exhausted. I'm really tired. And finally go to sleep. This is where we got the flashlight. Remember that? That was a weird trip. But anyway, I finally get to sleep, and all of a sudden they open the scale house, and it was all these trucks coming off.
Jake break.
So I told her, I said, well, I can't sleep like this. So we fired up, and we drove again for a long time, and we finally, I said, there's a spot down there, and we whipped off, pulled over and parked. Woke up in the morning, we were at Bill's, whatever it was. Bill's Way. So it was like a big joke. We were laughing. HA kind of ruined. Boy, they got all this fancy shit. Yeah, Harvest Host.
Corps of Engineers is good for disabled, it's half price, but it's also half price for seniors and with a federal pass.
The bigger the abandoned warehouse, welcomed, the littler the green men.
Okay. Was ruined by Harvest Host, in my opinion, Lynn says.
What was?
Harvest Host kind of ruined Boondocker's Welcome.
Oh, yeah. Well, which one is the one where you go to all the wine testing?
That's Harvest Host.
Is it? Who'd you say hi to?
Sandy Casita Adventures.
Oh, there. Oh, yeah.
Diane.
And then there's Dougie, and there's
Waco and Scott, Arkansas. COER. Okay. You have to ask Helen what I did. What? That happened.
There's Louie. Louie's here.
Hey, Louie.
Louie and Barb.
And Barb.
Waco and Scott, Arkansas, COE are thumbs up.
That happened to me once. That happened to me once. What happened to you once?
Well, he fell
Doug?
out of his stairs and broke his
That's
ribs.
true. Was that at a COE?
I don't know. Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. People are telling us Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you
Sorry,
guys.
I just speak nonsense and always joke. Don't pay what I said any mind. That's okay.
Well, you could have your own channel too.
You have to get a hat like that, though.
Either that or a hairstyle like that, so you have to wear a hat. I mean, I was working around the yard today. I didn't want the neighbors to see me. Yeah, so anyway, things are.
John sent that again.
What?
John sent that again. We were talking about Bill's Way. This must be the place.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'll see.
But yeah, that Lordsburg Flying J is pretty good. And then is it the one that's in there in it? The Flying J in El Paso may be a good one. I think that's a good one too. I think my friend of mine, Ernie, told us to go to some place. It was in El Paso too, wasn't it? And we went in there and he said, "Oh, they got really good food and they had camp parking and it wasn't for motorhomes. I'll tell you that much." I've had some issues with truck drivers in
not a lot though.
Truck stops. At one time, we waited through this hour freaking line
to get gas,
to get fuel, and we finally get up to the pump, and this guy next to me comes over and says, "You see that line over there?" And I said, "Yeah, I see that line over there." He says, "Well, don't you think you ought to wait through that line?" I said, "Again?" And he goes, well, I said, "You know what? Why don't you mind your own business? You think I'm that disrespectful? I can't see that line. You think I'm going to cut in front of all those truckers?" I go, "I waited all the way through that line, and then you come over here." I go, "You should just mind your own business, man." And he didn't say another word to me.
Winds of Nim, I want a tinfoil hat, not a tinfoil hat.
A tinfoil?
I'm sure they make them.
We can get. Oh yeah, here, grab my coat over there. We'll show them that. Darla made these.
I didn't know that. It's scary.
I think we're going to sell these coats. Don't you think?
It's probably backwards.
No, it's not backwards. See that? You guys want one of these coats? Aren't they cool? That's our tent coats.
Yeah, because it's cold in that tent.
Yeah. Remember, if you're going to go to a quartzite and you're going to go to the big tent, you better have a big coat.
Well, if you go early.
Yeah. We go there. We have to go there at 7 in the morning, man. It's freezing cold, so. But yeah, we're going to be, this year it's going to be a little different because it'll be the first time we're not doing it for Guard 1. We'll be doing it for Sky Thunder Fireworks. So you can come see us in the tent in quartzite. We don't know which space, though. The boss man's going to be there. The owner's going to be there too, but he fell downstairs or something. He got a concussion and everything. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's still coming. So he's anxious. He's anxious to see it. He's never been there, so.
Winds of Nim, you do need your own channel. The jacket, that's cool, but I want some space blanket liner to keep out the gamma rays.
Yeah. Okay. You need a real tinfoil hat. So see that next to El Paso, that in New Mexico, that would be Las Cruces, and that's where we've had problems.
Hectic, don't say that. Please don't say that.
No. Well, we're going to be in a different place. Hi, Vince. Vince made it.
Lynn says, Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino in New Mexico, next to El Paso. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the casino they like.
Well, I think there's a Flying J right there at mile marker 1 is
That's
where
the
it's
one we
at,
stayed at.
and we've stayed at.
Under
Yeah,
the
and
sign.
it's nice.
Under the big sign.
Huh?
Under the big sign. We always stay there. That's where we find a park. Is right by the sign that says casino.
No, that's not
that
the casino. I'm talking about the Flying J
right.
in El Paso.
Yeah.
We stayed. That's off of 40, and that was Three Rivers or something. That was something. Yeah, something like that. Green River or something. And we went in there and we parked right underneath the sign for the thing, and that was a good spot. Well, yeah, I know. Well, Las Cruces isn't too far from. If you're in New Mexico, the next place, the next town, there's a thing you go off, and there's like a place where you can stay for 2 hours, a rest area, or you go to Las Cruces, and I think there's 2 Walmarts in Las Cruces. We stayed at both of them, and no more. No, I'd rather stay at the old fenced off gas station with Ghost in it than Las Cruces.
Even Jason said, hopefully you don't get flooded out again.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was such a bad thing to walk into work to see.
Yeah, it was soaking wet, man.
Stand there in it.
It was soaking wet, and it was taking on some weird smells.
It mildewed.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. Oops. Wasn't reading.
Yeah, because he said the same thing as Cupcake said.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? We've been there when they had a big dust storm. We couldn't find our motorhome. We've been there when the campground flooded too.
Yeah.
It got pretty wet there.
Yeah.
And well, last year it got pretty wet too.
But with the tent, because it's inside and it's got that fake turf down on the ground, it just couldn't dry out, and so it just started mildewing. It was great.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Hopefully we're on a higher spot.
Yeah, I wonder, Lynn, have they gotten that 40 straightened out? Man, I'll tell you what, the last couple of times we've attempted to drive the 40, and man, I'll tell you what, the road was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'd rather drive longer through a dust storm than I would on a road that it just was beating this motorhome to death. Long family call. We are here.
Welcome, Chigners.
I will have to go back and watch it. Yeah.
Hopefully the family's doing good. You guys, you've really worked a lot on your new home.
Yeah, looks good.
Yep.
Today he was doing the RV thing, tripping.
Yeah.
He was RV tripping.
RV tripping. On the 40, there are several Indian casinos with nice RV parks. Yeah. Hopefully they replace those carpets since they got so wet last time. Well, they've dried out now, and they do, like, whenever sections get bad, they just cut them out and tape them in. It's, they got a whole crew. We watched them one time putting that thing up. It's an amazing thing they do.
Yeah, Ron, we drive all the way.
We do. Again,
we drive to Lordsburg. We'll stop in Lordsburg. We get all the way across, and then we don't stop in Tucson. Of course, Ironwood is outside of Tucson, but we don't stop in Tucson either. We've had problems in Tucson since like 2007 is when the first time we had a problem there. We were in our Lance camper, and we were at a Kentucky Fried Chicken on Thanksgiving, and we'd stopped to have some lunch because it was closed.
We made lunch. We didn't break in and steal
we were sitting there, and these two guys, I could hear them talking, and they were talking about coming, and the one guy says, let's just go in there and take their stuff. And so I had my gun right by me, and I just told her, I said, if you see this guy start to come this way, I go, just hit the floor, and I'll, as soon as they start to come in that door, I'll let them have it. And the one guy they were pretty wasted or something, and they were kind of bickering amongst themselves. And one guy says, just need to leave them alone, man. You know, let's just go and smoke another pipe or something. They finally did. He finally talked them in, and then as soon as they did, I went around, fired up the truck, and left. It was just crazy. I don't know. People are pretty daring, man.
Well,
I would never
especially when
do
they're on
that.
drugs.
Yeah, I would never have done that. I mean, my
Yeah.
stomach could be growling, but I wouldn't go into someone's RV like that. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Who's that? Cindy.
Ah,
It was much better last fall. Let's see.
yeah.
Everybody's saying hi to everybody else. I was a blackjack dealer at Yas Casino in Alpine, California for 20 years. Yeah. We used to go to Vegas every once. Well, used to do the Consumer Electronics CES when we had our electronics company. Do a little gambling then. Yes, Lance from Pahrump. Pahrump. And then there's May on the Run. We know her.
Yeah.
She's the Colorado queen from Colorado.
Yep. Gramps Radio. Hi. Democrats.
What?
That's out of the blue.
Yeah.
Tinfoil hat too.
Meth is a hell of a drug.
Hi,
Yeah.
Ortho Crofty.
Oh, no.
And little Ortho Crofty. And my little Linky.
Prime.
What?
Grandpa Radio Prime. Where are you from, Grandpa Radio? Gramps Radio? Nice hat, Daddy. That's our baby right there. Ortho Crofty.
Yeah, she's watching with Lincoln and Charlotte.
Is she? Oh, yeah.
Hey, Linky. Hey, Charlotte.
We have to say goodbye. See you guys soon. Drive safely and Merry Christmas. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll see you soon. The world continues to roll. We'll see.
All right, you
From
guys.
Oregon.
Can't wait to see you. Looking forward to it.
Beautiful place, Oregon. Went through a hurricane in Oregon once. Can't wait to see us. Are you guys staying at Lazy Days? Maddie,
thank you, Ortho Crofty.
Dehesa Valley. About to smash that button. There you go. You going to Quartzsite? Of course. Is there anywhere else to be in the wintertime?
Lincoln and Charlotte say hi.
Hi.
Love you guys.
Grandchildren.
Yep.
Yes, okay. Are you going to stay with us or are you going to stay in the back again by yourself? They were there last year and they didn't want to be anywhere near us.
Gotta hit the rack. Okay, Yanni. Love you. Hi, Patty. Love you too. Merry Christmas, guys.
Keo, happy holidays. Everybody's leaving. Usually we're the ones who say goodbye. This time everybody's going, had enough of this. Lonely Hitchhiker Kent's here.
Yep. Howdy, Kent.
Howdy. I hear they're raising the LTVA fees from $185 to $600. Yeah, but not this year, they're saying.
No, but they're threatening it.
Yeah, well.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's
we're in the back again. Jason got to do some work on the RV while we are there. Okay. Thought you were saying good night. I'm still here. Okay.
Well, you know, if you're in the front, we can work on it too. You know, I've taken the transmission out there.
We sure did.
And they never said a word. They were cool. In fact, I told the guy who runs the place. I told him, I said, yeah, I pulled my tranny and put a new rear main seal in the engine. And he goes, really? I said, yeah, you didn't know? He goes, I had no idea, man. Nobody said a word. And it was like the guys around me were over there watching and holding lights and everything else. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, but we're all tucked in the corner over there, so. Got to do some roof painting. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that, you know. But what you want to do is get you some of that permabond tape. Isn't that what it's called?
I forget.
I think
We did a video on it.
it's permabond tape, and you just tape off all your seams before you even start, and then take that cool seal or whatever you're going to use and paint that right over the top of it, and it will never leak. You just solved all your problems forever. That permabond, that stuff. I did that on this thing,
We
and
got the black.
although we did have a little issue last.
Yeah, but that was the window.
We have our
Thank you,
motorhome.
Orthoproxy.
Our
We're liking
motorhome
it.
is a diesel, and it has a rear windshield, and it goes in. It's got the gobbledygook on it, and they stuck it in. And the reason why I know all that is because it cost us $1,800 to replace that thing because it cracked. That's another story we'll tell you another day. But anyway, we put a new windshield in the back, and it's leaked a couple times, just a little tiny bit, and I've always been able to just kind of blurp it and fix it. But it got the sheets wet and our pillows wet, and we had to wash everything.
Yeah.
And I got some of that self-leveling Dicor, and I just went up there and just filled the whole top of that thing with that. And it went down, and when I let go of the weather stripping, it pushed on it, and some of it came up and came over. I've just left it. I'm going to just let it cure up real
It's not
good.
leaking. I'm happy with it.
Not leaking, and I'm going to take a razor blade and just trim it down the road when it's had a good chance to cure up.
Our friends, the Parkers, said that they are raising their fees to $800. In LTVA?
This year?
Or at the campground?
Not at the campground. It's only $300. Because I asked her.
Yeah. I'm fluent in I think gobbledygook. All right, whims of men. Maddie, I remember when your windshield broke. That was scary.
Yeah, it came out. Yeah, almost.
Oh, LTVA.
You know what? And our insurance company didn't give us.
If I had not seen that windshield do what it did,
yeah,
I would think you were just exaggerating. But
it bent.
It really did. It had a dip in it.
But I got it back in, and sometimes we'll get in real bad wind, and I have to slow down. Yeah. This windshield is.
It's usually like a crosswind. Yeah. Like when we're driving this way and the wind is coming at us crosswise, that's when it seems to pop it out.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, we're.
I just deep fried some cod. It was pretty good.
Who said that?
Gramps
oh.
Radio.
Yeah, we're what's the name of that? Seaside, I think, is the town. Grandma's place. We were in there, and we were on our motorcycle, and we were coming back. We had done a 5,000-mile run, and we were coming down the Highway 1, and stopped in there, and we were having breakfast, and the owner of the restaurant came over and was talking to me, and he said, "Where are you headed?" I said, "We're heading south." He said, "You got a good motel to stay in tonight?" I said, "No, we're camping." He said, "Well, you can't." Yeah, 101. He said, "Well, man, there's a hurricane coming." I said, "Hurricane? They don't have hurricanes in Oregon." He said, "Well, let me explain it to you like this. When you have a 75-mile-an-hour wind and rain in Florida, they call that a hurricane. Out here, when we have 120-mile-an-hour wind and rain, we call that a hurricane." I said, "Okay." So we went down to Bandon and stayed in that KOA. That was a wild night, huh? We got up in the morning, and there was 4 inches of water in the bottom of our tent. We laid there and listened to these trees snap all night long, and got up and put on our rain suits and gear and everything, and emptied all the water. And we rode down till we got in the redwoods and got 5 bundles of wood and hung everything up from the trees and let everything dry up. Made our camp back up that night, and
slept really good. Got up the next morning.
It was sprinkling. So we loaded up and headed south again real hard, and we decided that
we had enough rain.
When we got down to where was that? Where Del Monte is, like where you're going to go to Big Sur, or you could go inland to Laguna Seca and get on the 101 again. We were on Highway 1. and it started sprinkling, and we went for the 101. And then she says, let's just get home. So we rode it all the way home. We rode, I don't know, like 600 miles that day. We stopped in, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Anderson Split Pea Soup, but we stopped in Anderson Split Pea Soup in Buellton, and it looked like they were closed. And so I went over and I grabbed the door and it opened. And I thought, oh, great, cool. So I walked in, and I mean, I looked like I'd been on the road for 600 miles. And I walked in. This guy comes up and he goes, "Can I help you?" I said, "Are you guys open?" He said, "Nah." He said, "We just closed a little while ago." I said, "Okay." He goes, "What is it you need?" I said, "Well, we're just going to get a couple of, soup." I go, "We've been on the road all day and we're starving and it's cold." He goes, "Well, hang on a minute. Let me see what I can do." And he went in the back. He was the manager. He goes in the back, comes out. He's got 2 great big styrofoam cups full of hot split pea soup and a big bag full of crackers. And I go outside, gave them to him. He said, "No, I don't want no money." So I go out with these things, and Darla's putting it in her coat.
Yeah, it was cold. I was so thankful for that.
Yeah, that was the best tasting soup I've ever had.
Wear it.
I'm the Colorado Princess. Thank you. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't want to be the Colorado Princess no more. I was in a hurricane in Brookings, Oregon in November 13th, 1982, 100-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, it was pretty wild, Trey, man. It was crazy. That was unbelievable. And I'll tell you the whole story sometime when we're together. It was I was dealing with medical issues, and we had really gone through it on that trip all the way. And then towards the end, all this stuff happened. So yeah, that soup that's the best soup, man. They you can buy it off of Amazon. They sell it. I watched a video interview you guys had with Cheap RV Living, Bob Wells. Oh yeah, yeah. We actually spoke at RTR that year too. So we haven't done anything with that anymore. Bob said he was going to have us come back the following year, but he didn't. So I don't know. He's a pretty nice guy. Let's see. I love split pea soup. Damn ads. P. PEA. Well, guess what, guys? That's what.
Wow.
What?
Time's fun when you're having flies.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Doug. Give Helen our best. That's from Trey. In case you can't read, Doug. I know you can read it. We are supposed to be speaking at the RTR for RV Live. Yeah, it's fun. You'd be out there on the little baseball field, and they have a stage. And
I wished I'd worn a warmer coat.
Yeah, it was pretty
so
cold
that day.
Yeah, but the people are real nice, and we usually go by there and maybe walk around a little bit and stuff. It's not.
Say hi to Brian.
Yeah, say hi to Brian. Was there. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we thank you for tuning in, and we hope you guys all have a wonderful Christmas. We do still have one more video out this year. I thought this was it, and Bill's like, "No, next time."
One more live. We're going to try. It'll be on the road. We'll be on the road when we do it. And
we appreciate that you guys took the time out of your lives to spend with us for this time. And we hope you all have a wonderful and safe Merry Christmas.
Doug 22. Who's that? It must be Doug.
Love you, Nana and Papa.
See you guys later.
Love you too. All right, guys. Good night.